What's up, guys? So the last 18 videos, it's been time-lapse videos, so I haven't been doing any explanations, but today I'm going to do rigging, which I think requires a bit of explanation just in case you know nothing about rigging. It might take a little time to wrap your head around, so that's why I'm going to slow it down for this video and try and explain everything. So this is the model that I've created in the past few videos. So I'm just going to get rid of all the armor for now, just focus on the body. And I'm going to go up here and we're still in object mode. I'm going to add armature. And so just say if I want to add bones then to this particular armature, then I can't do it here. If I go here and press armature, it's just going to create another armature, I guess, family or group. So we don't want to do that. We want to create bones within this armature. So in order to do that, go into edit mode. First I'm going to bring this down. While we're here, I'm going to go up here and add single bone, and I'm going to reduce the size of that. So as you can see, the original bone's down here. This one I'm going to use as a wireframe, it's easier. I'll use this one as the spine base. I'll create another one. This one's going to be the hip. I'll create one more. So the control, so these two will be parented to this one. But before doing anything else, I'm going to really quickly name these. So this one at the very bottom, this is going to be like the main parent, and always call them the root. I think if you export this into something like Unreal, I think I'm not too sure, but I think it only recognizes it if it's named a root, but not 100% sure. But I always just name it root. Let's call this main control hip spine base. I'm going to go back into object mode for a second. So with the whole thing selected, over here it just says armature. You want to rename it. I'll call it stealth character armature. I think the name always has to have the word armature in it. That's what I've heard in other YouTube videos. I'm not 100% sure, but whatever I name it, I always give it whatever name I'm going to give it, underscore armature. So that's the name of the whole armature. And then when you're in edit mode, you're dealing with the individual bones. Okay, so from there, press E to pull out another bone. So this will be spine 1, spine 2, do a chest, one the shoulder level, neck, head, pull another bone out that leads to the jaw. If you want to, this isn't necessary. Actually, I'm going to leave it out for now. I don't think it's, might be too much for this video. And then from this hip bone, actually I'm going to create the legs as separate bones. So this will be so I want this this bone to start where this there's a loop. I don't know if you can see it. There's a loop that goes like this. So I'm trying to make it start there. Bring this halfway. Okay, so if this is the knee here, I usually place it like right in the middle. This over. This is the ankle. And then usually by the toe. Add another bone. This is going to be the clavicle. And I want to line it up shoulder. So for the upper arm, sometimes people just go from clavicle straight to the elbow. I like to add one more bone for the shoulder before I create the upper arm bone. So kind of like the knee, I like to put it right in the middle of each knuckle. Oops. here. Okay, so with all these bones made, I need to name all of them. So this is what we call upper leg left. Lower leg left. Ankle left. Toe left. So we've got the spine base, the hip, the spine, spine 2, chest, shoulder, neck, head, clavicle left, shoulder left, upper arm left, forearm left, wrist left. These bones here you don't have to name. Actually, this one you have to name. Thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb 3. So these 4 I'm going to skip. Next one. Next 2. Next 3. Middle arms. 1. Middle 2. Middle 3. And 1. And 2. And 3. Oh, the one thing I forgot. For all these, I need to put an L for left. This one's pinky, 1 left, pinky 2 left, pinky 3 left. Okay, so those are all named. I want to add another one for the lat here, So as the arm goes down, the lat should go in, but I'm not going to do that. That's going to complicate things for this this particular tutorial. I'm not going to get into like little details like that. So with that done, first I need to parent these. So this one's going to be parented to the shoulder. So Control P, keep offset. If you look very closely, it adds like this line, a very faint line, to indicate that it's parented. Same thing I got to do with this upper leg bone to the hip bone. And I'm going to select all these bones on one side. I'm going to press period, and I'm going to select 3D cursor. So that puts the pivot point of the cursor, and I'm going to press Shift D to duplicate, and then enter. Oops. I'll try that again. Period, and Shift D, and then press Escape to put it back into position, and then Control M, X, and then press enter. And then you can go back into, press period again, and you can put it back to, just leave it at individual origins. So now I have to go to each one of these bones on here and replace the L with a capital R for right. So this part is kind of a pain in the butt. So that's all done. So at this point, I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do next. If I'm going to paint whites or if I'm going to add some. If I'm going to develop the rig more. I think I'm going to develop the rig more. We're dealing with the bones, so I might as well finish up the bones. So I'm going to temporarily hide the body. And okay, first thing that I like to start off with is First, I need to go into pose mode. I'm not exactly sure why they've done it like this. Oh wait. I need to create some additional modes. I'm going to create, copy, I'm going to grab the ankle, Shift E to duplicate. I'm going to do Alt P and clear parent. And I'm going to name this ankle left IK. Do the same thing with this one. Shift E to duplicate. Alt P to clear parent. And I'm going to name this ankle R IK. Grab these two, press E to pull out, grab both of them, Alt P to clear parent. This one's going to be called ankle control left and ankle control right. Press E with these, pull out, Alt P. So if I just say grab these and I just pull them, then it pulls like the legs. If I undo that and I press Alt P and clear parent, now I can pull these forward, which is where I want them. So these are going to be the knee controls. So knee left and knee right. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the wrist. So Shift E to duplicate, Alt P to clear parent. This will be called wrist LIK. Shift E to duplicate, Alt P to clear parent. Okay. I'm going to grab these bones. Press E to pull out. Both selected, Alt P, oops. Clear parent, P, clear parent. This is going to be wrist control left, wrist control right, and grab the elbows, E to pull out. Alt P clear parent, Alt P clear parent. Pull these back, and elbow left. Elbow right. Okay, so with all the reason why I made all these is because I want to create IK legs and IK arms. In order to make this work, we got to go into pose mode. I'm not sure why they did it like this, but there's the way it's done. So I'm going to start off with the left leg with this selected. Go to this very bottom tab, bone constraints, and I want to add a constraint called reverse kinematics. And first it asks to specify the rig. So stealth character armature, the bone, asking for the IK bone down here that I created. IK left. Pole target is referring to this, the knee. The same thing, you have to specify the armature and specify the bone, which is knee left. And right away you see some funky stuff happening here. So first thing, you have to change the chain length to 2. And chain length is basically the length of the IK arm. So there's 2 bones. So that's what you're specifying. Another thing that you notice is his ankle is like twisted backwards. So you have to go into the pole angle, and usually it's just a nice clean number, like 180. Double check, maybe sometimes it's more. Oops. What's going on here? I'll go the other way. Is it 170? Okay, it was 176. Minus 176 for that one. With that done, I need to, I want to go into this bone tab, and I'm going to select, remember there's 2 bones lying on top of each other. You want to select not the one that we just created, but the one that we created it from, which is the ankle IK. So all you have to do is click, just keep clicking on top to grab the other one. So if this is not the one that I want, then I just click again, and from ankle IK, go back down to bone constraints, copy rotation. Again, specify the armature. The bone is ankle left. Okay. So now, just to see that it all works, I'm going to go into edit mode. I'm going to grab the ankle IK, the knee, and then I'm going to select the control P offset. So these 2 are parented to this. So if I go back to go into pose mode, I can move this around now. And this knee should do its job as well, this knee control. There we go. So that's all good. I'm going to do the exact same thing with this leg. Let's go to bone constraints. Specify armature. Specify the bone. Specify the armature again. Specify the knee right. Chain length 2. And I want to go into top view. Rotate this around. Yep, 176. Select the ankle. Copy rotation. Specify armature. So basically what this is doing, which is what I did before, and then that left leg, I have the ankle right selected, so it's copying that rotation and applying it to the ankle right IK, which is the bone that's sitting on top of that one. So now, go into edit mode, sure I got this IK selected, ankle over IK, knee right, and then select the ankle control right, control P, keep offset, pose mode, okay, that's all good. Now I gotta do the exact same thing for the arms. So for the legs I started with the lower leg. I got the lower leg to add the IK. So with the arms, I'm grabbing the forearm constraint, specify armature, wrist IK left, this one's going to be elbow left, same deal, looks all weird. I haven't specified a chain length, same as the legs, chain length 2, and it's got a weird rotation, so I think it's probably just 90 degrees, it seems like. That's about right, 90 degrees. I'm going to select, it's not the IK that we want here, so we click on it again to get the overlapping bone. Press left. I'm going to copy rotation. And then we want wrist left IK. Okay, into edit mode. Select the wrist left IK, the elbow, then the wrist control left, then control P, keep offset. So if I go into pose mode, and I select the controller, I can move, I can rotate, and I can move the elbow. And one last time. Inverse kinematics. This one should be 90 degrees as well. Looks good. Rotation. Oops. Okay, whoops. Edit mode. Make sure I've got wrist right IK selected, elbow right selected, then controller right, then press Control P, keep offset. So now if I go into pose mode, moves fine. Oops. Rotation's fine. And elbow's fine. Okay, so now I need to do everything along the spine. So the arms, legs are taken care of. The only things left are all the bones up the spine, this hip, and the clavicles and shoulders, sorry. So I'm going to start with everything along the spine. Actually, it has to be in edit mode first. I'm going to turn on, actually first I'm going to turn on the mesh. I'm going to press E. The reason why I turn on the mesh is because I want to make sure that these are far enough out that I can see them. So that looks pretty good. I'll probably turn off the mesh. What I'm going to do is, I want to create one more. Actually, I'm going to create two more. I'm going to create one for the spine base, and another one for the hip. So all these bones that I just created, I'm going to grab all of them. Oh, I didn't create one for the clavicle. So all these bones are actually going to be the controller for all the bones. And currently, these are all parented to the bones that they were pulled out from. So what I want to do, I want to unparent them. So I want to press Alt-P and clear parent. So if I grab any one of these, they're all free. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reverse it. Before, when I pulled these out, these were parented to the bone. Now I'm going to parent these bones to this. So right now this is parented to this. As soon as I parent it to this bone, it's going to get unparented to that bone. So if I go just like that, and that, Control P, keep offset, Control P, keep offset, P, keep offset. You want to do the hip as well. Okay, so if I were to grab any one of these, if I rotate it, oh, I have to go into pose mode first. If I rotate any one of these, then it rotates the bone that, it rotates the child as well. And as you can see, if I, even though it's rotating, it doesn't influence the next bone in the chain, which is why I need to go back into edit mode, and I need to parent all these controllers to each other now. So this one is parented to this one. This one's parented to this one. This one to this one. These three. So basically, like all the entire spine is all disconnected now. The only thing that's keeping it together are these controllers, because they're all parented to I'm parenting all them to each other. So these two are going to be parented to this main controller. This main controller is going to be parented to the root. Okay, so let me just save this. Okay. So now, if I go into pose mode, if I move the root, it's going to move anything along the spine. Same thing with this main controller. All the other controllers, they're only meant for rotation. So this one, this hip, if I go like this, then the character can shake the hip. And if I go here, I have to press period, make sure individual origins is selected. So if I select, just say all of these along up the spine, because individual origins is selected, they should all rotate, which is exactly what I want. In case you don't know, if you're new to Blender, if something like median point is selected, then they just like rotate all together, which is not what you want. You want individual origins. Okay, so that's basically the rig setup. Nothing else needs really to be done here. The only thing left to do is to paint weights. So I'm going to bring back this character. With the character selected, make sure you set the viewport levels to 0. It's still pretty high. So now I'm going to do something. I'm going to do paint weights. It's probably one of the things that I enjoy the least, besides UV layout. So when you paint weights, the most common way to do it is to go into weight paint mode and then paint it on manually. I think this is probably the worst way to do it, especially for blocking out the weights. So I'm going to show you a different way. So instead of going to paint weight mode, you go to edit mode, and with vertexes selected, go here to data. Oh, first, I forgot to parent the geometry to the bone, so Control P, with empty groups, so there's no influences yet. So with the mesh selected, we're going to edit mode. Now, in this data tab, you can see all the bones. So instead of painting the weights on, prefer just to do it this way. Wait a minute, I have okay, never mind. Back to edit mode. Okay, for spine, my spine base. Oh, here it is. Okay, for spine base, which is this bone right here, I want to grab everything below and including the belt. So instead of painting the weights on, I'm just selecting vertices. And I think this is much faster to block it out. I'm not sure if if Maya has this functionality, but this is the way I prefer to block it out. So with all the vertices selected, all you have to do is assign. So if I go into weight paint mode, this spine base selected, it's got all this influence here. Back to edit mode. Now that I have spine base done, I'm going to quickly do the hip. Oh, it's right here. Okay. The hip, I'm going to do everything that's above this loop. This loop I'm going to save for the upper leg. So anything above that loop, as well as crotch area. It's probably better to go into material. Right now I've got texture. If I go to material, I'm going to turn off the texture. It's easier to see all the verts. Okay. So now I'm going to go back. So spine base was anything below and including this belt. So spine one's going to be anything above the belt. Oops. It's going to be above the belt, and anything on this particular line. spline 2 is going to be anything above those. So we'll include anything on this loop. So it seems like all that, and then for chest, I'll select everything above that loop. So here I need to be mindful that I want some of this to be influenced by the clavicle. So I think I want this to be influenced by the clavicle. So I'm going to deselect this. Deselect these. Okay, this is tricky. So I'm going to make it so that the clavicle influences anything on this imaginary line. So these don't fall on the imaginary line. This one, these don't fall on the imaginary line. And same thing over here. These don't follow the imaginary line. Just like that. the clavicle, shoulders, and arms, that's probably the biggest pain to deal with, so I'm going to deal with the legs first. Upper leg left. Where's everything on this line? So I need to go back into paint. Oh, so it was this line here. Everything on this line. Same thing with the right leg. Okay. So now, I actually think that for the clavicle, it's probably better just to compare it to the chest. So this might be a little bit tricky. Chest. Got a bunch of tools here. Radius can be much smaller. So basically I'm just going to have to go back and forth. First I need to determine where the clavicle ends. So it's somewhere along this line here. The clavicle goes here, the shoulder starts here. So this is going to be the last place where I paint the clavicle. So first I'm going to paint where the clavicle starts. clavicle is going to influence to about here. We're going ahead and deal with the right clavicle. I wonder if I can. Oh, this makes it so much easier. I can just like change the position of it. Oops. And this one again, go straight up. This. Now I'm going to throw this down. Put it right above the shoulder. And this one's going to go right above the left shoulder. Okay. So the shoulder bone ends one loop right before the sleeve. So the shoulder is going to influence to about here. subtract this and go back into mix. Okay, and the same thing with the other shoulder. That done, I can just go back to the other way that I was doing it with vertices. So upper arm left. Actually, I'm going to include these ones. almost there. Actually, missed one. Okay, I think that's it. Now all I gotta do now is test it out. So this is the fun part. Now that all the weights are done, go back into texture, spline. Looks okay. Oh, I can see I've missed some vertices, but I can fix that later. These ones. Looks pretty good. Make sure this hip works. Oops. That's right. There you go. The last thing that I'd like to try out are all the controls of the spine. As you can see, I've missed some vertices somewhere. That's why. There's also something happening with this arm. Let's see. Nothing's painted. Oh, I see what I've done wrong. So all of these that should be part of our arm is pointed to the shoulder. So I'm going to remove it from the shoulder and then assign it to the upper arm. So now go back into pose mode. Okay, that's all good. And so I'm going to try doing this again. Okay, that looks okay, besides all these vertices I've missed, but I can fix that later. I think that's pretty good for now. I'm going to cut it off here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and make all these fixes. And once all that's done, I'm also going to paint weights on the armor. And after that's done, the next video is going to be about some basic animations like walk, run, idle, maybe some attack animations, and show you how to set keyframes and things like that. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.